Yo, what's happening, Patreon? Salute to all the patrons out there. It's your
What's
man
goody?
CJ Williams.
I'm QB here.
Listen, it's Culturalist Theory. You already know how we get
Yeah.
down. I hope you guys are loving the kind of reaction joints. I'm trying to pick albums that Q hasn't heard.
I like them though. Like this is fun.
Yeah, it
This is
is.
fun.
It is.
Put me on something.
So appreciate y'all tapping in. We're not going to waste any time. This one, we're going back to 1996,
Yeah.
jumping in the time machine.
Golden age.
Golden, that's what they say. They say it's the golden era.
It's one of them.
For sure, for sure. This is Tupac, aka Makaveli,
Machiavelli.
the Don Illuminati, the 7 Day Theory.
How many titles is one album?
I was about to
Need?
say, it's a lot of those. This is his first posthumous. Is that how you say
It's one of the ways. Yeah.
it? Posthumous?
Posthumous.
Posthumous. Okay. This is his first album after he passed away.
Yeah. We'll go with that. R.I.P. Tupac.
But it's the last album that he had full input on. So
Okay.
all the albums after this,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have any input outside of making this.
Just the vocals.
Exactly. He made
Where they
it.
take his vocals. So he had a hand in the beat selection, the lyrics, content,
All
everything,
that. The
the
album cover,
features.
all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what makes this one kind of special. It also is crazy because it came out the same year as All Eyes on Me, which was the double disc. So the double disc came out early 96.
Wow.
This came out late 96 in November. He passed away in September.
That's a lot of output.
That's a lot of
That's dope.
output. They say he was trying to get out of that Death Row deal. That's kind of the rumor.
Okay, but they can split that double album up. Just,
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
if you
but
try to get out the deal, because the deal is like a number of albums, right?
yes, but the double album counts as two.
Oh, it does count as two.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he had a 3 album deal. He dropped that, which counts as two, and then he hurry up and drop this.
here you go.
So word on the street is he was trying to get out of it,
Let me out of here.
but it didn't hurt the quality though, because typically when people drop those like I'm just trying to get out of my deal albums, yeah,
Yeah.
you can usually tell like oh they were just trying to get out this shit.
No, man, Tupac always had. He set the bar. Like he had
Facts.
set a high bar. My mentality was anything, is Machiavelli mentality. Because this dude was, he didn't slip.
Nah, he
You
did.
might not like every joint, but the dude's quality didn't slip.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, if you didn't know, for some reason, we do have a list. We have a Tupac albums ranking list
Yeah.
on the channel, so make sure you check that out. We
Yeah.
included the posthumous albums, all 6 of them. He has 6.
Yeah.
He has more albums after he passed away than he did when he was alive.
We got a death row list too.
Oh, we got the Death Row list too that we didn't include the Pac's people work. Tight about that.
Not you, Patreon. We like you.
Yeah, but to state our word, we said we were going to go back and add those in, and we are going to do that.
Yeah.
So because the people have spoken, and
Hold tight.
just give us a second. For now, let's get into this Machiavelli Don Illuminati. Woo, I love this album. Number one, let's get straight to it. It's called Bomb First.
Okay.
Um,
Get my lyrics up.
yes, you got the lyrics. We ready? Because you're gonna have to follow this because there's some spicy shit on here.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm ready. I got my lyrics. I'm ready.
All right, let's get to it. Bomb First.
In today's music news, the ever controversial Tupac Shakur has
Allow me to introduce Machiavelli the Dawn. Spiritual lyrics like the Holy Quran. Big motherfuckers don't deserve to breathe. How many niggas done to die for me? West Edie, I mean, born worthless. That's until the day I decided to bomb first, bitch.
Okay.
Bomb First.
So I see I got to add something to my PPS now.
Yes.
My plan, plotting, and strategizing.
Yes.
Got to add the bomb first.
Yes.
Facts.
You hear the type of energy he was on.
Why?
This is how you set off a project. It's like, oh, it's gonna be one of them. Got it.
It clearly was. This dude, I like that Tupac calls names. I'm not
does.
pulling no punches. I'm going to tell you exactly who I'm talking to. Not only that, I'm going to give you a new nickname, Notorious P.I.G., Mob Sleep. It's like, God,
Another corny sounding
Right.
motherfucker.
several corny sounding motherfuckers from New York. And I'm gonna go down my list. I
Yeah.
like it. Right? He was on the type of time.
Yeah, he was. This was full Death Row. I'm riding with the West Coast. Of course, we all know Pac is originally from Baltimore.
Yeah.
But he kind of made LA like a second home, like a new home.
Mhm.
And so he fully ingratiated.
Okay.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Where we going with it?
In himself in LA culture when he signed with Death Row. For better or worse.
Oh yeah, he was with it.
That kind of was his downfall at the end of the day too, which kind of sucks.
He was a young guy, though.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, think about how young he was. However, the thing about a 25-year-old in 1996 is not a 25-year-old in 2025.
That's a good point. No
They-
internet.
They are different.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a fact.
so I don't know. I give him I shoot him some bail because he was young, but young ain't young like he used to be.
He was young, but he was experienced. He lived a lot of lives. Because by this point, he had acted in movies. He had classic movies, classic albums, hit records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of shit going on for himself. So it was kind of like... So that's why it's kind of always weird that like he fell, well, air quote, he fell into that whole like culture of the Death Row gang shit, and it ended up being his downfall. You would have hoped that he would have kind of seen past that, maybe. I don't know. He had a lot going on.
He did have a lot going on, so you know.
Hail Mary, let's get it.
Makaveli in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. Some say the game is all corrupted, fucked in this shit. Stuck, niggas is lucky if we bust out this shit. Penitentiaries is packed with promise makers. Never realize the precious time that bitch niggas is wasting. Institutionalized.
This shit remind me of that Dave Chappelle skit. It's like I'm still alive.
Oh, that skit. Dog. That's because, and like I said, he has 6 albums that came out after he died. And many of them were double disc. So it's like, dude, are we sure he's...
My guy had a notebook full.
Yeah,
And
the work
library
ethic.
work.
Work ethic is crazy.
Yeah. He had a lot of time on his hands.
That's one of my favorite joints. Hail Mary is the shit.
Off the album or like in life?
Off the album. Off the album for sure. But like this was the first album that I bought with my own... First Pac album that I bought with my own bread.
Okay.
So this came out in 96. I was in freshman. Give or take.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. But this is the first Pac album I bought. Before this, it was just before my time. I couldn't. My mom was like, nigga, please. Nice try. No. But so this one was a standout. It's got that eerie, spooky.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? That vibe.
Little Bone Thugs.
Ooh.
Would you say that?
That's good. Yeah, for sure.
I feel a little bit of that. I also feel a little DMX. That's what I asked you. Like, where are they in the timeline of concurrence? Like,
DMX came after Pac.
Yeah.
And he was heavily influenced by Pac.
I mean, even in the voice, not that they sound exactly alike, but you could definitely feel the aggression and the gravel in the voice.
Agreed.
It's like, yeah.
It's very distinct. There's like aggression. There's pain.
Religion.
All that, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And DMX just had a prayer album come out. So, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Let us know if you check that out, Patreon.
Yeah, please do.
Next
up.
Hold on. Because I like that line.
Oh, talk to me.
From the second verse, the penitentiary is packed with promise makers.
That's
like,
cold.
That's a bar.
Yeah, that's a fact. And it's a fact.
Bars.
Ooh.
Lord have mercy, Father, help us all. Since you supplied your phone number, I can't help but call. Still down for that death row sound. Searching for paydays, no longer Dre Day.
So.
Wow.
It's all over the place.
That was a lot.
It was.
A tossed salad.
Whoa. But that's my issue with it though. Like, we heard the intro.
Yeah.
And we heard Hail Mary. And even the intro to this had that dark. And then it just comes on with this shiny ass, it's very like commercial radio. And I'm like, it doesn't fit. Nothing on the album sounds like this outside of it. And it just,
that was a weird song.
The
features didn't feature. It was just weird. It was all over the place. Like you said, the topic didn't even stay consistent throughout the 4 or 5 minutes that this song is. It's like, where are we going with this? And there's random runs, there's random things. It isn't. I was trying to be open minded, but it just.
It's very rare that you have multiple R&B acts on one song, but there's 3 R&B acts and one of them is a group. Aaron Hall, Danny Boy, and Casey and JoJo. It's like,
yeah, and they all like to sing real strong.
And
they like to sing real strong.
But what's funny is that verse. So the last verse by Pac was added on because originally Jimmy Iovine sent a cease and desist because it sounded too much like No Diggity.
Oh yeah, I did.
And so they had to redo it. And when he redid that, Jimmy Iovine is Dre's boy. So when he redid that, Pac added a verse and dissed Dre. because they had fallen out.
He did Teddy Riley too. He said Teddy Riley who, Puffy who.
See, yeah.
I was like, where's Teddy Riley? Catch the Strays. This song is
so
very reminiscent.
It just didn't fit the vibe or the tone of the album to me. I never play this, but I've also heard that Suge made the call to add this because he needed something for the radio.
This is not for the radio.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of is though. Maybe not the second verse.
That is not a good song.
Yeah, this was a skip. But the craziest fact about this. So, did you ever see the movie All Eyes on Me, Pac?
I think so.
Yeah, the biopic.
I went to the movie started.
The dude that plays Pac, Demetrius Shipp, his dad made this beat.
Whoa.
Demetrius Shipp Sr.
Was this Teddy Riley wannabe?
What a small ass world. That's crazy. Your son plays Pac in the movie.
That is crazy,
nuts.
Man. The world is full of weird stuff that happens like that, though.
And he looked like Pac though.
He looked just like him. Like
the movie was kind of the movie was kind of mid, but they nailed him though. I was like, yo, he looked like Pac.
Oh yeah, you got him.
That shit was crazy. Spoiler alert: that last song was not the only Dr. Dre diss. We got another one coming right now.
Street Science, you're on the air. What do you feel when you hear a record like Tupac's new one?
Live and die in LA, where every day we try to fatten our pockets. Us niggas hustle for the cash, so it's hard to not to live and die in LA. California Love Part motherfucking 2 without gay ass Dre.
He just don't care, bro. It's so funny. And it's like,
nah, he don't give a shit.
He did not care. It's like, is it because he was young, or is it just because I
possibly
don't give a fuck, bro?
He may have not just gave a fuck. And there's a little bit of like there's some recklessness to it.
Definitely, and it's definitely provocative.
Yeah.
So you got that going. It's like, yeah, I don't fuck with Dre.
I'm glad you said that because I think, and there was a rumor that after he did hit him up, that Big and Pac ran into each other, and Big was like, yo, like, what are you doing? Because they were cool at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was like, yo, what are you doing?
And stuff?
Yeah, all that shit came up together. And he was like, yo, like, what the fuck? And Pac was like, man, bro, I'm just doing this to sell records, bro. I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. And so I think he saw the response to that.
Yeah.
And doubled down. And that torch has been passed on to people like 50 Cent. And
50 Cent, definitely.
Yeah, he took it to a whole...
This dude is Olympic with it. He take that torch and just go around the world.
So, yeah, So yes, just the recklessness or the just don't give a fuck or just I see what this does and beef sells and gets attention, so I'm gonna lean into it, whatever the case.
I mean, yes, but I just don't know that I believe that Tupac had to do that just in terms of his career. Maybe he felt like he had to do it, but just I don't know, like every song's not gonna be Brenda's Got a Baby. I get that. So you got like bounce it out with your California Love. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I did like the line "making money off cuss words," writing again, because it reminded me of the Eminem line was like Will Smith doesn't have to.
Oh yeah,
cuss his rhyming,
but I do.
So fuck
you too.
I was like, oh,
damn, right. Will, I forgot all about that line.
No, that's the line right there. And then that's why people, that record that he just came out with, this little single.
Who, Will?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think he says damn in it. Everybody was like, oh, he cussed in his records. Like, this is 50 years old.
Yeah, he's
like,
open hand slapped somebody in public. You can get past. You can let him get a 1 4-letter word off.
Damn, dude.
My family tree consists of drug dealers, thugs, and killers. Struggling, known to hustle, screaming, fuck they feelings. Now rule 2 is a hard one. Watch for phonies. Keep your enemies close, nigga. Watch your homies.
This guy is super religious.
Yeah, for sure.
It's super religious. It's not, he's telling you, he's basically prophesying to you, like, you should take Jesus as your savior.
Yeah. He's also saying we're probably in hell already. Our dumb asses not knowing everybody kissing ass to get to heaven ain't going. Woo!
He's locked and loaded, ready for that.
That's my shit. That's a good song. It's an interesting song, but yeah, like you said, there are religious themes in Pac's music. He's definitely been open about that, and that's another parallel to DMX.
For sure. He's definitely been open about it, and that his upbringing is interesting because he was around a lot of Panthers.
Yep.
Which is not a religious organization, but you definitely will find some religion like overlays to it too.
Yeah. I'm kind of like Were they rocking with the Nation? I'm not sure. Somebody had to put me on that. I'm not. 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard. It's hard for me to say because I feel like they were affiliated, but I could see them also affiliated with Christianity too as well. So I don't know. Somebody gotta let me know.
Yeah, somebody more educated on that than me. Please let us know in the comments.
Right. Don't give me the line because I'm making the shit up.
I don't want to be sound blasphemous. Hey. Life of Outlaw. Let's check it out.
Why explain the game? Niggas ain't listening. Stuck in positions. Victims can't stand to eat. Just stay the fuck out the kitchen. But still I'm lost. And the land of the lowly. We ain't nobody holy.
But again, this shows the difference between Pac and Pac is just so much more dynamic than them. Like it's like there's a noticeable drop off from Pac's verse to when the Outlaws come on. It's just like
yeah, but that's what it makes me wonder, like how they got a deal or like how. I mean, I get you want to put your people on, but it's like I guess the first person that comes to mind, you know, there are a lot of posses with like a main star, obviously, but like Nelly and like the rest of the Saint Lunatics.
For sure.
Okay, you might have Murphy Lee.
He was cool.
You know, he did his thing. But like you go down the list like Ali and like you just there's a noticeable
there's a discrepancy in talent when you but everybody can't be a star. Like Nelly's a star. He had a unique style, he had the look, he had the whole nine. Everybody can't be that.
Why not?
Because if everybody could be, if those talents and qualities grew on trees, then we have, but they don't though. That's what makes people different. Well,
yes, I think everybody has their own like niche
identity,
or like that's gonna make them. But it's like those differences that do make people stars. But I think I wouldn't say Nelly had to get out of the way for Murphy Lee because he had to put him on.
For sure.
Or like Jay had to put Memphis Bleek on, and then it's like, is it quite the same? Are you ever gonna get your protege? Let me say this. There are a few cases,
very few
exceptions in this case. You can name them out.
Yes, Wayne and Drake.
Wayne and Drake.
Nicki.
Wayne and Nicki.
No,
I was gonna say, Dre and 50, and then Dre, Eminem, and then Eminem and 50.
That's true too. Yeah,
I would go there.
But Dre's not known to be a rap. Well, he had the Chronic. So, but I get that's fair. You know, I get it.
Okay.
And then maybe like even present day, if you look at like a Yo Gotti with like a Glorilla or a Moneybagg Yo, they've carved out names for themselves. Like you don't think of Yo Gotti when you hear Glorilla.
I do not.
But those people have a quality, either if it's an it factor or they're just exceptional at what they do, but the Outlaws aren't exceptional. They're pretty average. Yeah. With all due respect.
They're not outliers. They're definitely
outlaws.
Death Row, Makaveli,
Outlaws.
Call me daddy. I'll be your daddy. That's not
the first song where they come in first.
For eternity, I feel it's my duty to be a soldier. Never had a father or family, but I'll be there. No need to fear so much insanity. And through the years, come with me and the time will grow. Dedicated slow jams on the radio.
I said Toss It Up was my least favorite song. I might have to revise that. That might be my least favorite. If I were ranking the songs on this album, that's, if not the bottom, it's the bottom two.
I was gonna say that. I would put this
under Toss It Up?
No. Oh, okay. Toss It Up is the worst.
Okay.
I haven't gotten through the whole dozen yet, but Toss It Up is firmly at the bottom.
Yeah, it's a skip.
Yeah, because I even like the first verse on here, even though you said it just made you warmed you up for pop.
But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe them coming in first doesn't set the expectation of coming after Pac, because that's tough to do.
I thought they had a lot more to say on this one than they had on the other one, but
good point.
Since I'm looking at the lyrics on Genius, I was able to tap at one of them. And one of them was like on his fourth verse when he says, "My age is young, out of place, bitch calling day, out of place, bitch calling days is done." Yeah. And so when I tapped on it, it said that this might have been like Tupac writing for them. And then it could have been a reference to him saying "never call you bitch again."
Yeah, from All Eyes on Me.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting to have this in like a quote unquote love song. Very loose interpretation of that, but so I thought the message here was stronger than definitely on Toss It Up.
That might be a reach though.
I mean, it could be a reach, but I'm saying the lyrical content here a little bit stronger than
I agree.
Than Toss It Up.
I agree. They're not quite Captain Kirk on here. but it's not, the cape isn't in the cleaners, but it's in the closet.
Exactly. It's definitely steamed and ready to go.
Got badass in this motherfucker. Puffin' on live, Makaveli the dog, represent the album. Last year was a hard, but life goes on. Bumping my head against the wall, learning right from wrong. Mama pushed me out of womb, told me nigga get paid.
God help me out here, cause I'm possessed. I need your root of all evil for my stress. You ain't gotta be in jail to be doing time.
One of Tupac's favorite words, crazy. Crazy, baby, lady. Like, he do that a lot.
It's a really good rhyming word.
For sure.
Stop hating.
Don't worry, P. When we listen to enough P, you'll see that he was a fan of that too. That rhyme pattern.
Yeah. What
do you think?
I like my guy's badass's. I like his laid back delivery. I like that it was laid back, but he still kind of rode the beat and not like how these niggas be today, be off beat.
Facts.
And like rhyming too fast for their songs. But so I like that. And I like what he had to say.
Yeah, that was his first feature. And that's the only non-Outlaw feature. Rap feature, that is.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's something to hang on the mantle. He ended up doing a bunch of work on Snoop's projects, including
like verses?
Yeah. He would have features on Snoop Dogfather, Snoop's second album, which actually came out a week after this. I want to say a week or two after this. Which probably aided in the reception because people really like this, and that Dogfather wasn't Doggy Style, and it's kind of gotten a cult following since it's been released because it got panned so much.
Okay,
but yeah, he's featured on that. He's featured on a couple other Snoop joints.
But I like that bar too. You ain't got to be in jail to be doing time.
Hey, listen, guys, it's up here.
Ooh, free your mind,
and the rest will follow. Next up, White Man's World. This is a fan favorite.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. Pac will get in this bag often. We know how he feels about the world, and he has an interesting purview.
Yeah. Shout out to him for having a worldview, man. I love it.
Dear sister got me twisted up in prison. I miss you. Crying, looking at my nieces and my nephews' picture. Only thing they ever did wrong. Yeah. Born black. It's my sister. Sorry for the pain that I caused your heart. I know I'll change if you help me, but don't fall apart.
And all other non-white people were to be the burden bearers for the real citizens of this nation.
There was some words on there.
Ooh.
There was some heat on there, buddy.
Hey, he trying to start a revolution.
Yo, but a lot of that was dedicated to ladies, though. Like, I know it's titled White Man's World.
Yeah.
But it was more like an ode to women, like his mom, sister, the whole nine.
Yeah, it's definitely like feels apologetic because he knows how frantic is the word that comes to mind that he is, or like how like
kind of got like a Gemini, like he can be like two sides.
Yeah,
it can be a Brenda's got a baby one day, and then it could be I get around another.
Right.
And so I guess it's almost like he's apologizing for the I get around piece.
Yeah, he know he's wilding. And he's making, but it's almost like it's because of the world that I live in that the reason I act the way I act. However, I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if women get the same like kind of like leeway as you're like, oh, I'm a black man in a white man's world. Okay, well, I'm a black woman in a white man's world. What does that do for you?
Has anybody ever said that? Though?
There's not as much lore around it. To your point, like there's not as much of it. I don't think as much of a narrative around,
There could be though. I mean, I think it's there though. I don't think anyone's vocally said it though.
Right, but then could you be considering like this is whining? Basically, you're like, when it's almost like just get over that shit.
That's a good question. I know with dudes, obviously it runs deep, like all the way back to slavery days, and treat the male figure in front of everybody a certain way so that everybody falls in line. Shit, XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a story to be told, obviously, from the female perspective. But I don't know if I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I wonder if somebody listening, maybe like a Rhapsody or a No Name or someone of that nature, maybe have taken that on. But I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. But
Queen Latifah or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You ain't gonna say her name any kind of way now. Nah, Queen Latifah. I thought there was a couple bars in here because he again talks about the bitches. Apologies to my true sisters, far from bitches. Yeah. Which probably was the reference that we made earlier about never call them bitches again, or whatever like that. And then there's another bar. Where is it at?
Because he references the him being incarcerated, which was due to the rape case.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, people around him will always say he took that very hard because, you know, just for clarity, it wasn't him that did it. It was more of like, they say he facilitated, or like he didn't stop it, and she was there for him.
Right.
But it, you know, when it was one of those
women, like, there was those things like, I love women. I would never hurt women. Like, especially when you have like an open letter to like your mom and sister. Like,
for sure,
there's definitely an underlying respect there where, like you say, he probably took it way to heart that like, you think I would do something like this, and I would not.
Yeah, he changed after that though. You could tell when he got out, he was fucked the world. Like he was this, like, if you listen to the music he made prior to that and listen to it's two different people. That's the same, but he leaned way more into one angle than the other.
All right.
He was upset.
Look for me, lost in the whirlwind. 96 Bonnie and Clyde, me and my girlfriend. Doing 85 when we meet my girlfriend.
96 Bonnie and Clyde, me and my girlfriend. Me and my girlfriend. Yeah, I agree. This is like the thug life, like, female song. Obviously, he's talking about a gun when he says "me and my girlfriend." He's not the first to compare a girl to a gun. I don't think he was, at least. I almost said Nas, but no, Nas rapped from the perspective of a gun, so that's not exactly what I was looking for. But I feel like somebody did it before him. Y'all let us know in the comments who compared a female to a gun before Pac, because I can't remember.
Okay.
But I feel like it happened.
It sounds plausible.
For sure.
I mean, there's a lot of rap before Tupac.
Absolutely. What you think?
I like this, man. I don't know if I quite got that until you just said it, and I was like, oh yeah.
You said 45, black chrome, all of that?
Yeah. I was there. Sort of.
But that's the making of a good song, though.
No, I thought it worked out really well, and I like, the first thing that I like is that there's no outlaws on this song.
One of the few Pac solo joints on here for sure.
Well, yeah, Virginia Slim on there. At the beginning, I want to call her Thug Mrs. even though I know that's not her, but only because she was talking about, doing thuggish things.
For sure. That's if only my nine could talk. And of course, Jay sampled this, and that was super controversial with the Bonnie and Clyde joint with him and Beyonce.
Right.
People were like, how could you? He don't fuck with you. People were hot about that shit.
But guess what?
No. Yeah. Number one, Billboard 200.
It doesn't matter.
But people did think it was, and then he actually was talking about an actual woman, so then people were like, you just watered down like a dope, like a hard concept, and you kind of made it commercial.
Because he loves his wife.
It is Beyonce,
What's wrong with that? Oh my God.
It is Beyonce, too. I mean, if there's ever a reason to be like,
I'm saying,
let me make a song about somebody.
Right. Let me jack this beat for this.
Yeah, you can let that slide.
On the jailhouse, I'm with you. Plus, nobody knows my soul. Watching time pass through the glass on my drop top rolls.
I like pianos. I'm a sucker for piano. That was Hold Your Head. Vocals from the producer, Heard 'Em Bad.
No.
One of the few solo songs on here. You know what's funny? We talked about how most of the features are the Outlaws. This is a stark comparison to the double disc that came out the same year, which is star-studded. You know what I'm saying? It's got a shit ton of features, which people knocked. If there was a knock to All Eyes on Me, it was that some of the features was a little too feature heavy. But it's just funny how it's completely different. What you think about Hold Your Head with the Heard 'Em Bad hook?
Not with the Heard 'Em Bad hook.
Did it hurt you bad?
Yeah, it did. I don't know. Not a lot to report here. Just the moans from Tales from the Crypt. Like Casper was on this shit. But he had a line about money that I thought was cool in the third verse. So he says, currency means nothing if you still ain't free. Money breeds jealousy. Take the game from me. I thought that was cool, but I'm thinking, like, I think you mentioned earlier, like, he was already famous. Like, he was already rich. And, like, well, rich is relative. So, okay.
For sure.
But he already had a name for himself. So it's like, I I think about how rappers evolve as the albums progress, or in like the subject matter progresses. I'm like, all right, are we still talking about the same things from a different perspective, or are we talking about it from the same perspective of I don't have what I need? But freedom is definitely relative, and even if you have a good money or financial foundation, that doesn't necessarily mean you're free.
It doesn't, because let's assume he did have some bread. He's on paper.
Yeah.
To death row.
Facts.
And which, again, we talked about how he was trying to allegedly he was trying to get out of it, which is why he was in the studio so much, making so much output. So it's like, yeah, he might have the fame, he might have the notoriety, he might even have a little money, even though they said the money wasn't what we thought it was.
Mm-hmm. I could buy that.
I can see that too. Yeah. But it's like,
that's left eye.
True. We could go on and on who you could ask about that shit. But it's like, you still may not feel like you're free, because you're even rich. Like, rich people commit suicide like all the time. Like, it's not just because you got bread that like everything's all great. Yeah, nah.
I feel you.
Or fame, or no, you know what I'm saying? It only feels like that. Like, the grass is always greener. So when you don't have all of that, you're like, shit, all I need is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get it and you find out more money, more problems, and you're like, damn, it's actually not as cozy as I thought it would be.
Right.
When my true motherfuckers know this be the realest shit I ever rolled. Mob Deep wonder why nigga blow them out. Next time grown folks talking, nigga, close your mouth.
He was not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love that fucking song. It's one of my favorite diss songs, not gonna lie. Like, and there's still quotables from this that people use.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, people say that all the time. That realest shit I ever wrote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that. Me and my homeboy say that weekly. Nigga, listen to me. And this is the realest shit I ever spoke right here. He talked to me. Like, that's like a thing. Or the Larry Holmes Flabby and Sick. People were saying that on about Mike Tyson with the Jake Paul fit.
Hilarious.
that's still a thing in pop culture 25 years later. But there's so much in that story that he talks about, and that's in the movie too. I wouldn't expect you to necessarily remember this part because the movie wasn't that memorable, but when he got when he got shot 5 times at the studio, he had always kind of blamed some of the people that was in his crew at the time, Haitian Jack, Jimmy Henchman, all those people, and that they set him up. And he also blamed Biggie too, but I don't think he really ever believed that Big and Puff had anything to do with it. I think he was just getting publicity off of that, to be honest.
Gotcha.
But he did. The heavy rumor is that Haitian Jack has something to do with it. But so they go deep into that and stuff. It's layers to that shit. But one of my favorite diss songs. I love that fucking song.
It's a good song, man. You really feel. Don't you
feel his anger?
You feel the tension there.
His angst.
Yeah. He really wants to get some things off his chest. He doesn't do it subliminally.
They say him and Nas squashed that shit before he died, though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I don't think he really... I just think it was on some East Coast, West Coast. If you're with them, you're against me.
Yeah, but he just took LA on so strongly for him to have only been there like a short time or whatever, just getting out of jail. And like, he put LA on his back for real. And just like... Sure. I don't even think he could have represented Baltimore or East Coast as strongly as he represented LA. Like, he just went all in.
He did.
Balls deep, as the folks like to say. But this dude was like... heavy on LA. I don't know what.
I mean, look at the front of All Eyes on Me. He's like, he's throwing up the West Side. It's one of the most iconic album covers.
Yeah, man.
He's not throwing up Baltimore, whatever that looks like. DMV, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no disrespect.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like, but like, he leaned heavily into it again, somewhat to his detriment. But he took on the whole coast. Name drop Jay, name drop Nas,
everybody,
Mobb Deep.
Did they have a response track, or was he already past at a time where it was like, we'll just let it?
Yeah, because this came out a couple of weeks after he died. So
that song though, yeah. I know the album did, but the song came out later too. Okay.
Well, there were some leaks.
Right. Okay.
This is back when like bootlegging was heavy. Because now this is what I do remember, and I don't remember if this song was on there. But Makaveli Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, those all kind of came out around the same time at like the mixtape stops.
Yeah.
Because again, he had a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, he originally recorded 21 songs for this album, and those songs ended up making it to various other projects after he passed away. A soundtrack here, a double disc here. So those songs were floating around, but I can't remember if this had leaked before. Don't remember, but I know eventually they heard it, but nobody said anything after the fact because
yeah, what are we gonna do?
That'd have been kind of tasteless.
Very much so.
Not cool, man. You can't diss they diss the dead now. Young niggas don't care now, but
right
back then,
who raised you?
Yeah,
like yeah.
Again, you probably couldn't hear this, but there's a voice that says "Shook shot me" at the beginning.
Oh, no.
And so.
Hold on. I gotta revisit before that. We go.
I gotta revisit that. It's at the very. You have to listen extremely closely as soon as this comes on.
In today's music news, the ever controversial.
So, people think that says "Shook shot me."
What are the alternates?
I don't know what.
And what else could it be?
Because that motherfucker definitely sounds like Shook shot me. It doesn't sound like Pac's voice, but it sounds like somebody saying Shook shot me. So when you add that, the Makaveli name, alias that he was going by, and him being on the cross for the cover, like all of this was like, yo, are we sure he's dead?
How sure are you?
How sure are we sure he's not in Cancun?
Cuba? Angola?
Cuba. Yeah.
Somewhere?
I don't know. But that was my favorite Pac album. I ain't gonna say it's the best, but I'm gonna say it's my favorite.
Why is it your favorite?
Because it's the first one I bought with money. I guess the nostalgia attached to it.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
I think, personally, I think that Me Against the World is probably his best. Like, if we're just talking, like, body of work.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a fan favorite. All Eyes on Me is a fan favorite. After this, it was downhill with the possum and stuff. He had no control. People were just throwing songs and putting features on songs that he probably
or putting Eminem in a booth. On the boards.
The Eminem album is. Spoiler alert: we will not be listening to the Eminem produced Pac album ever.
No thanks.
Unless y'all request it. No, we still. If we get to it, it'll be.
Don't ask me.
2038, maybe. But yeah, let us know what album y'all want to see next. We've got a couple of ideas that we think y'all are bang with, but we're open. Again, we appreciate the support. Where can they follow you though on social media?
They can follow me at Jane Q Public, JaneQPubliq.
Very nicely done. You can holler at me, Animal_Brown on Instagram and Twitter. Again, we appreciate you guys supporting. We'll see you when you see you, man. Stay on the lookout for new lists coming soon, though. We got you.
Hey.
Holla.